Hi folks. First of all, I want to thank you so much for your patience as I've tried to sort of take some of Dr. Spire's content, add a little bit of my own content, a little bit, and then mash it up sort of into my instructional design. I just have to have the Moodle the way I have to have it. So those of you who've had me before probably know what I'm talking about, but most of you probably don't, but it doesn't matter. So the first thing I want to say is this, is that if you ever come to our course and you don't see this forum right here, then that means, and you see just a bunch of craziness, that probably means that I have to get in and do something really quick and link something or whatever, it doesn't matter. But my suggestion is that if you don't see this right away, then maybe take like 10 minutes and come back to the Moodle and let me finish editing whatever it is I'm doing, okay? So I would just ask that the water cooler should always be in the center, and then you know that the Moodle is right, okay? So, secondly, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the length of this video, but the goal of this video is for me to walk you through the course. So I'm going to walk you through sort of like the navigation of the course, and I'm going to kind of perhaps touch on a couple of different things, like some of the expectations that you have to do. So let's first of all, I would ask that you revisit the syllabus. Since I hadn't had a really chance to get my head around the content, like some numbers have changed. I think a couple due dates might slightly have changed. Just like there's not 10 flip grids and forums, there's really only 7 of them total. They're just reread it again. There's not anything major, but just in case you wrote down a due date, I went through and changed them to orange so that they stick out. You know that these are your course announcements. These come to your mailbox, your email, but if you wanted to check on one, you can always see them here. You will find your feedback to your projects and your forums and your flip grids. What you click on here, and that will appear after I give feedback. You guys have already clicked here. You already know that this is a Voki message that I ask that you play. I will change this every week. I will change this title, and I will probably change this maybe every couple of weeks or so, just to kind of give you an overview. This is how you get to your pages and to other people's pages, and this is where you would change your profile picture, etc., etc. What I'd like to do, and then of course you are welcome to add anything to the discussion forum. If there is something that someone says that you're interested in replying to, it's a little different. You want to click on discuss this topic, and then you will be able to enter a reply to that person here. Okay, so then you get a threaded discussion here. You don't need to reply to someone by entering a new discussion topic, and that's a little deceiving. So if you want to reply to this, you actually click here. If you want to add a new thought, question, resource, then please by all means click here. Now let's jump into what a typical week looks like. Well, none of the weeks are typical, but let's just walk you through. So you're going to find all of the directions that you need behind each of these links. And sometimes it might lead you to, in most cases, it's going to lead you to something that looks like this. It's going to have 2 links here. The first link is always going to be sort of your directions, your reading, your content for the week. So I would expect that you would come through and perhaps click on some of these things, you would watch this video, but more importantly, I definitely would invite you to do anything that's above these symbols, but just to make sure that you are focusing on what's very important for this week. I've kind of gone through and put some icons in, so every time you see this, that means you have some things to read. I'm telling you what to read here. It may be linked sometimes, but in this case, I'm just asking you to read some chapters in your book. Then this little symbol will always indicate if you're having a forum, it'll be 2 people. If it's a flip grid, it'll be a little camera, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But you're always going to take all of the content from all of this video, and whatever you're supposed to read or link or whatever it is that's here, you're going to reply and think and synthesize that right here, and I have the link right here into your forum, where I ask you the questions about what it is that I want you to think about. So you might want to look at these questions before you begin your reading or viewing. Okay? It's important that you synthesize your ideas directly from specific examples from your reading and viewing. Remember that you need to post to at least 2 other people, and I really would ask that you extend each other's ideas. Like, ask them a question, probe them, bring in your own experience. into the forums. So again, that will be based on the forum. I will provide you feedback. The forum rubric is in the syllabus. So you want to make sure you're familiar with that. So I'm going to go back, and then there's just this optional thing. You can look. It's up to you. These are completely, any dig deepers you see are completely optional, right? So if you want to, you have time, you're interested in watching that video, that's great. There's no assignment connected to that in any way. It's completely up to you if you decide to use it or not, or look at it, view it, read it, okay? Let's look at, so I think week 2, let's look at week 2. Week 2 is a little different. So once again, week 2, the first thing you're going to see is, you're going to see your content, the things I want you to look at, view, what I want you to read is linked here. So you would hit this link, a little PDF will pop up. Okay, you can save that onto your computer or however you want. This, then I need you to read these chapters. And then of course, again, the forum is linked here. There are your questions. So you would want to maybe look at these questions before you begin your reading or viewing. Definitely check out these videos. But I also might have to get you ready for some of your projects. And so in week 2, you're going to go ahead and start getting ready for your cool tool blast, which is really just a review of some tools about what they are, what they do, what's great about them, and how you might see yourself using them. Dr. Spires has you form all this stuff on another wiki. She actually takes you out of the course. And that's important because sometimes you'll be working on the outside wiki, mostly for your PBI planning and for your cool tool blast. But there will be other wikis in the course that are actually within the Moodle. And I'll show you one of those in a minute. But basically, you and a partner, you're going to have to find someone in this class that you're interested in working with, and that means you're going to have to email them, go to the participant page, and find their email. But you need to reach out to each other in the forum. I don't care. You got to figure it out. And you're going to go to this page, and once you've decided on, you're going to review all these tools. You're going to go and look at this tool. You're going to look at this tool, look at this tool. And then if you like it, what you're going to do is you're just going to, what you're going to do is grab it, right? You're going to grab it and just put your names like right here, right? And whoever. You're just going to grab the page, okay? It's saying that you are going to do the module for Canva, okay? What will happen is once everybody sort of claimed their stake, and what I would suggest is you go and look at all these tools really quick and see what you like, right? Then what will happen is after you sign up for your tool, you'll actually build out your page. You will actually edit this other page together. Of course, it's not going to go right now. So you'll actually come in here, and you and your partner will come in here and edit this. You'll actually start to fill in this information, right? You will start to give me some information about this tool. Now, the reason the Cool Tool Blast is so important, folks, is because your project-based inquiry project is about new literacies. So it's about asking compelling questions about assessment or student performance, and then how would you use a new literacy tool like a Web 2.0 tool, such as these are listed here, that you would use to help perhaps move a student along in a particular area. So you might say, how could I use Screencast-O-Matic to improve third grade problem solving with word problems, right? And then you're in your classroom and you would actually use Screencast-O-Matic with a small group of kids or even one kid. And then you would just write about what that did. Did it help the kid? What did you observe? And you would also be taking video of you using that with the kids, right? Or you might use Storyboard or ThingLink or TAC to increase student achievement, can't do achievement, increase student engagement, or how does creating a TAC help students better understand characterization? I mean, the world is open, right? But the idea is that you might use one of these tools as your intervention in your project-based assessment. So don't just focus on yours. Like, Once you're done building yours, you want to make sure you come and look at these other tools, right? So don't get just tunnel vision. Make sure you look at these tools because you may be able to use these in your project-based inquiry project. And it's just wanting me to, because I tried to edit that page. Okay, so I'm going to just go back to the course, hopefully someday now. All right, so basically you're just going to follow these directions, 1, 2, 3. So it's basically just setting you up to get ready, right? Really early. This is not due until October 17th, but I want you to sign up. You need to start connecting with your person. You need to start reviewing the rubric and making sure it meets it. And then you just continue to work until it's due. I will go in and grade them after the 17th. Okay? But I don't want you to forget that there's lots of great other tools and you want to revisit those modules later on. So that's week 2. So let's look at another week. Let's look at week 3. And so this one has 3 links. And so again, starts off with your content, what you need to do this week, right? Watch this video, read these articles, read these chapters. But in this case, you're doing a Flipgrid, and that's indicated by this symbol. So instead of like writing your response out, you're going to take 90 seconds to record your video. So I would suggest that you craft your response, right? That you take time because you're still responsible for referring to the content. You're still responsible for referring to the articles and the videos. So you really have to pack a lot in 90 seconds. And folks, this is really, really important. You cannot make 2 of these videos, okay? You can only make 1 video. I only have 25 slots and I have 23 of you. So you really are just going to have to work on your succinctness. That means you're going to have to write a very clear answer that you might read or record yourself reading in order to accomplish this. And this is purposeful. I want you to be able to say what you need to say about what you've learned in a very succinct and clear way, right? That's what we need to be able to do in the 21st century, right? We need to be able to communicate. First, we need to be able to critically think, and then we need to be able to communicate very clearly what our new learning. So again, I want to emphasize, you are only allowed to make 1 Flipgrid for each of the questions that we use Flipgrid in this course, and I think there's 4 of them. Okay? So you kind of already know how to do that. So again, but this one, again, this is kind of a heavy week, right? Oops, I missed the link. So let's go there again. So again, there's that content, and then I give you your directions for the interview digital learners, right? And this doesn't have to be necessarily in a class. This could be a set of your cousins that are, anywhere from, 8 or 9 to 18, right? It could be church member kids. It could be any kids you can get your hands on, right? If you happen to be a classroom teacher, great. Maybe you do it with your whole class. Maybe you pull a couple at lunch. It doesn't matter. But between, you now know that by September 19th, you need to have found a group of children. Now, don't go on the playground and grab them, and you're going to ask them these questions. And you're going to record it out, whatever you want. That's up to you. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your answers to this question. You're going to kind of prepare an essay about what you found. And no, I'm not guiding. I'm not giving you any questions about that because I want to leave it up to you about what you think is most important to include in this essay. What was it that you found? Why is that important? What did these digital learners say about these questions, right? You will use a Google Doc. You are not turning any files into me during this class. I do not accept Word files. Everything you do in this course is digital. So you already have a Google's account with your NCSU account. You will create a Google Doc with that. I will create a tutorial that will help you understand how to make that public, that anyone can comment. So I will scaffold you on how to make that so everyone can see it. But you need to get in. If you've not played with Google Docs, then you need to start doing that right now because both this essay and your PBI write-up will be done in a Google Doc. I will not be accepting any files. Okay? So get in there and figure out how to use Google Docs. If you know how to use Word, you're going to know how to use Google Docs. I will provide you with some tutorials. Once you're done, you have until September 19th, so you can do it anytime in between now and then. It's totally up to you. But when you are ready, you will go here to this wiki. This is inside the Moodle wiki. and you will edit this wiki, right? I leave directions here. You would edit this wiki, and basically you would just put your name and your link. You would put your name and you would insert your link right here. You would copy and paste your link to your Google Doc right there. Okay? So that when you save it, then everybody's name is there, and then I can click your link and I can see your essay. Okay? So that's how that's worked. That's how you're going to turn your digital learner interview in. And then of course you just have a dig deeper. I'm going to go to one more week. I know this video is getting a little bit long, but I think it's really important that I go over these things so that you're really clear. I think week 4, you know, it's kind of starting to have a pattern here, right? You're going to have some videos, you know, some links, some more articles that you need to read, and again, you're making a flip grid. I will use the rubric to give you feedback. That's located in the rubric. Again, you're going to need to succinctly, your questions that you have to answer are going to be right on the flip grid. So you might want to take a look at these questions before you begin your reading. Again, one flip grid, please. So you're going to have to organize your thoughts, right? Okay. So, and then there's some more PBL stuff. You don't have to do anything with that, but it's really important since you're doing a project-based inquiry. I thought I'd give you some really good resources on PBL. You don't have to do anything with it except maybe use it. But then I want you to notice that, you know, every once in a while you're really just going to be doing something. Like I need you to start getting ready for your PBI project here. I need you to find your partner and start talking about what it is you guys are going to do. You know, who has a classroom? What are we going to look at? What tool might we think about? What's our compelling question? So the directions for that are there. And then we have week 6. I think week 6 is pretty straightforward. You know, it's just a click and peek. I think you have a forum, right? So you can start to see oh, that's a flip grid. I take it back. Again, the questions will be here. But I start to take the pedal off the gas a little because I realize that you actually have to start doing your PBI, right? So you have fall break. That means there's no class this week, October 5th. We don't resume class until October 13th, so you have that week off. Week 7, I think, is a pretty straightforward week. Your Cool 2 module is due by this week, though, so I remind you to take a walkthrough. But again, this is going to start to seem familiar, right? You're going to have some content, right? Some things I want you to look at, but you are doing a forum, okay? Week 8, though, is a little bit interesting because week 8 is really just, I want to start giving you like straight up a lot of time to get your PBI done. So you don't have anything to really do. Well, you have lots to do, but there is no required reading or, oh, I take that back, not quite week 8. You have one more week, assessment in digital age. And like this one, there's nothing. I just say, you know what, this is just stuff for you to know. You don't have to do a flip grid. You don't have to do anything. It's just good stuff, right? To get in your brain as you're getting closer and closer to probably carrying out your PBI. And then week 9 is some digital safety, right? And that's fine. And then really, I apologize, it's actually week 10 is the first week that you have off. Like you have nothing due. You just have to work on your projects, right? I mean, if you do nothing, that's on you, but that's time there for you to actually write up, start your video, edit, do whatever wherever you are. The reason that's important is because no matter where you are, even if your write-up isn't done, even if your video isn't done, you need to start letting your peers take a look at what you have so far. Okay, so they don't have to be complete, but I am going to ask that, I'm going to go ahead and once I got my teams, I'll go ahead and make a listing of who reviews who here, right? But I don't know who that is. I don't know who's working on what yet. But you will actually go ahead and edit this wiki, and down here you would edit it and you would put your link to your Google Doc that has your write-up in that. Within that, you would put your link to your video. And again, they don't have to be perfect yet, but I want you to go ahead and link them here by this Wednesday here. And then then you're responsible for going and looking at the rubrics and then giving feedback to your peers on those Google Docs by leaving comments on them. Leave comments on the link for the video. And then that you have to have given your feedback to each other by that Sunday. Okay, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect at this point, but I want you to get to a point where you have something, right? So that's kind of why I'm forcing that peer review. Then in week 12, what I'd like for you to do is actually, it's another week off. What I want you to do is now take that feedback that you got from your folks and start incorporating that. So if they said, well, I wish you would have explained this here, or I think you could add this part to your write-up, whatever it is, right? So make sure you give good feedback. Don't just say, this is great. That doesn't really help anyone, right? Tell them what you like and what you think they need to change to make their project better. Look at the PBI rubrics. Are they following the rubric? And again, this is just about helping us all get better. Then you have Thanksgiving break. It's up to you what you need to work on. I try to leave you alone, right? But the thing is that your project is due the final next week. You have until Friday of the following week. So you have a work week here, peer review, work week, another week off, and then your PBI is not due until here. Okay? So I feel like I've given you a lot of time to get that done, but I wouldn't wait till the last minute, obviously, because you have to have something by week 11. Okay? I really expect quality products. I expect that they're thoroughly done, and that you look at the rubrics and make sure that what you turn in, your PBI write-up and your PBI video, actually match each other and are by high quality and demonstrate what it is that you went and did with students. On that note, for those of you that don't have a classroom, you're going to need to find a partner that has a classroom. I will work with Dr. Spires. I know that we have a large contingent of guests from China in our course, so welcome. But I know that you probably don't have a classroom, so I'm going to really ask those of you that are in the classroom to reach out to our folks that are visiting from China and help them out. If I need to put 3 of you onto a project, I am happy to do that, right? If we need to put 3 and 4 of you into a project, I am happy to do that. But you need to let me know. Do not wait until, week 5 to let me know you don't have anyone. Okay? We're in this course together. Reach out in the social forum. Let people know that you're willing to have your class open. Let me know that maybe 3 of you would like to get together, or 4 of you would get together. It says just a partner, but I'm happy to have many groups because we have a lot of people, I believe, in this class that don't have a classroom. These people would be coming to your classroom as a guest, right? They're not coming as a volunteer. They're not coming to do anything. They're simply coming as a guest, okay? They are NC State graduate students that are coming as a guest. We are not doing research in our classroom. We are simply looking at teaching a lesson with some technology to answer a compelling question. Okay. That is a very long video, and I apologize for the length of that video, but I believe that given our sort of rough start and me trying to get everything straight and make it into a Moodle that I can live with, I just felt it was time for me to take this. So if you're still paying attention to this video, you are awesome sauce, okay? I am always available on email. You can call me. I think I sent my phone number to you. It's in the signature of my email. I am considering we will have a Google Hangout. I will be inviting you after you sort of start planning here. I will actually send out a Google form and ask, to be about half of you in the class. You will be coming. I will put some information down here that we will have some time to have some virtual time for you to ask me questions about the PBI, right? I know it's kind of scary and big and giant right now, but let's just take a breath and know that my job is to make sure that you get what you need, that I scaffold you to success, okay? That is my job. So know that I will provide supports as we move along. If we need to have more Google Hangouts, I will. Once we have these Google Hangouts, I'll make a podcast of all of the various questions because all of you will have similar questions to help all of us move forward. So don't worry about that big project. I promise you will get there. I promise that I will be able to help you get there, and you will all be okay. Remember that if you make mistakes or you're not sure what's going on, that means you're trying something new, that you're learning something new. and that it's okay, right? It's okay for us to maybe not know everything right now. That is what the whole world of new literacies, right, and new media is all about, right? It is a wide open, vast expanse. And so we have to let our mindset, our habit of mind, our persistent mindset be that it's okay. That it's okay for me to not know everything right this second, but I know that I'll be able to learn it, and I'm here to help you get there. And we're all there to help each other get there. So again, thank you for hanging in for this very long video. I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope that you have an amazing semester.